Hello, everyone, and welcome to another casual convo. And today we have the lovely Judes or Reveye. I hope I said that right.
You did, you
I did.
did.
Okay, yay! Her channel is called I Am Reveye, and so she has a YouTube channel, she has a podcast, she has a website, she has socials, and that's all in the description box for you. So thank you so much for coming. It's awesome to have you. I'm so glad we can chat.
Thanks
How
for
are
having
you?
me, Julie. I appreciate
Absolutely.
it.
Awesome. Awesome. So, before we kind of get started with some icebreakers, oh, I see someone's entered. Hello, Lisa. How are you? Thank you. And also, thank you for being my bouncer. I like totally made you my bouncer last time without even asking because I needed somebody. So thank you in advance. And then if you really don't want to be, you can let me know and I'll take you off. But and thank you anybody who's going to be coming in and anybody watching the playback. So okay, before we get started with some icebreaker prompts, do you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I guess. My name is Judes. I have a channel, I Am Reveye, as Julie said. Tarot content for now, expanding into different spirituality concepts. And yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Awesome. Thank you. Yeah, I just only discovered you because you started your YouTube channel not too long ago, right?
Right. No,
Okay.
I've actually
You
had it
had
for
one.
I had a channel for like about 10 years ago I posted.
Oh, okay,
But
okay.
all of those are like,
Yeah,
hidden.
right.
But
Because
yeah, I
now
just
I only
restarted
saw,
it.
yeah, I only saw tarot content. So I was like, oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I
But
kind of
she
hid
has
those.
like over 1,000 subscribers.
They're actually, the quality is really, really low, but it was like the very, very beginning. I was like so unhappy. I was living in a basement apartment in New York City, and I just kind of started out with like a love walk, and I would
Wow.
post like myself talking about being on a love walk, and it actually changed my life because I was in such a
Oh,
bad place.
yeah.
But I have those videos hidden. I might repost them at some point, but I
Okay.
haven't decided yet what I'm
Yeah,
gonna
no,
do
I
with
hear
that.
you. And I've
Yeah.
heard that too, that, just having a platform to share, it,
Right.
it has helped so many people, mentally.
Yes, for
Absolutely.
real.
So, okay, there's more people in the chat. We have
Yay.
Gerald from Tarot Stash. Hello. Hello, Kristen Louise. Hello, Cup of Tea Tarot. And anybody else I'm missing? Hello, Joe. Nice to see you. All right. Are you ready for our icebreaker, first and favorites?
Yes.
Okay, here we go. The first deck you ever bought for yourself that you can remember.
The first deck I ever bought for myself was Moonology.
Ah, okay.
And I still
Oracle
use
deck.
it. I still use it every 2 weeks. I have my card right here. My card for
Awesome.
this past full moon was Step Out of Your Comfort Zone, North Node. So
Awesome.
yep.
Very awesome. Okay. First deck you ever passed on.
Oh my God, that's a really great question. I had a Lenormand deck,
Okay.
and I think that was the first one I
That was
passed
the first one. You're just like not interested.
on. Not interested.
It's totally okay. And did you just like donate it, rehome it, or did you give it to somebody who you thought might?
I actually sent it in the mail, yeah, to a friend of
Oh,
mine that was interested in a Lenormand because I thought she'd get more use out of it.
cool. All
So
right.
yeah, I went with
Very
that.
nice.
Yeah.
First deck in your collection that was okay. So your first deck was actually an Oracle, and then
Right.
when you got into tarot, was it RWS that you got into?
No, I actually had the Neo Tarot.
Oh, okay. So that's kind of
I've
its
had the Neo
own.
Tarot, yeah, for quite some time.
Okay.
But I didn't. So like the beginning was confusion. I didn't
Uh-huh.
really understand the difference between tarot and oracle.
Hmm.
And when I started looking at tarot, I didn't like it.
Hmm.
So I got rid of all the tarot decks that I had gotten in the interest of studying and held on to the Neo Tarot.
Okay.
And that's what ended up teaching me tarot. But when
Uh-huh.
I became a formal student within the last 8 months or so,
Mhm.
it was the RWS that I
It was
picked
the
up.
RWS. Okay.
Mhm.
Gotcha. How about the first thing you ever started collecting? Like rocks or
stickers.
Yes, stickers is a great one. Yes, that was one of my first things too.
Yes.
Remember the sticker books with like
the sticker books.
yes.
Back in the day, the Garbage Pail Kids
Yes.
stickers and all. Yep, I had all of that. The scratch and sniff. I had all of it. Yeah.
So nostalgic. It brings me back. Absolutely. Awesome. Okay. First pet.
I haven't ever had a pet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Never interested?
I'm interested, but my family, not necessarily.
Okay.
I definitely think that I would get a dog.
Yeah. Oh, dog.
Yeah,
okay.
And I really love bully dogs. I really love boxers.
Oh,
yeah, they're so sweet.
They are adorable. They are adorable. Yes, the puppy stickers too.
Yes, I had puppy stickers.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes, memory lane for sure.
Yes.
Oh my goodness, my childhood coming back to me. Okay. First movie you remember seeing in a movie theater?
Okay, crazily enough, it was Coming to America.
Oh,
and I was not old enough to be in the theater by myself. My parents' friends took us all as kids, and I'm not sure they realized it was a rated R. But I don't know if you've ever seen the movie, but at the beginning, they bathe him, and the girl comes out and she says the royal whatever is clean.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I was 13, and I was like sitting in the theater like,
yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I remember that movie. Well, I loved Eddie Murphy and I loved Arsenio Hall because I remember watching the Arsenio Hall show, when he used to have his late night show. And so I loved them both. And I haven't seen the second one yet. I know that there's the second one out.
I don't think I'm going to see that.
I just feel like it might ruin it for me, I don't want to taint my experience with the first one.
Yes, exactly. It looks like a cash grab. It just looks like they're doing the same thing over.
Same thing, but I agree with you. I agree with you. Okay. How about favorite first celebrity crush?
First.
Or an early one,
not like I mean, honestly, everything comes up Denzel for me. That's who hits my head, like him in Glory way back then. Like I'm such a stan. I'm such a Denzel stan. It's embarrassing.
It's a good one. No. What would you say your favorite Denzel movie is?
Oh my goodness. Honestly, Philadelphia, when I can get through it.
Oh, that's a hard one.
Yeah. It's very emotional.
Really
he
hard
was
one.
So good in it. He was so good.
He was. I mean, he's always good. But like,
he is always good.
He's very good. I recently rewatched the one, and I can never remember the name, but he plays like kind of like a bodyguard in maybe, I don't know, some South American country to like a young Dakota Fanning.
Oh yes, I know that one. I love that one.
I just think it's so precious. Like I just love him so much.
He's really good at action movies, which you wouldn't think of, because he was such a dramatic actor at the beginning, but he's so good at shooting things, and I'm so here for it. I'm here to watch all of it.
I mean, and like Training Day, which he won the Oscar for, was pretty hardcore. I was like, wow, that's okay.
It wasn't what I expected. I saw that one in the theater too, and it wasn't what I expected at all.
It wasn't what I expected either. It wasn't what I expected. Yes, Joe. Yes, he did. I was very broken. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
He's Dakota Fanning. Hello, Pamela's Insight. Nice to see you. Okay. All right. So first paycheck.
Oh, wow. I was an assistant camp counselor at a camp in my hometown of Great Neck, New York.
Oh, nice. Did you like that?
Was
it just, what's the experience in the money? Yeah, it's one of those.
It was okay, but I remember I went to Radio Shack and I bought a Walkman with part of my check, so that was exciting.
Yes. Oh my gosh, especially the Equalizer movies.
Yes, I love the Equalizer movies. They're so good. They're so good.
I agree. Okay, and then first piercing and or tattoo.
My only or just the ears.
Oh, just the ears. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have anything else interesting.
Ever thought of doing any other piercings or tattoo or ink or anything like that?
I have definitely considered ink. I'm somewhat of an ink addict. I've gone with all my friends and seen them get ink.
Yeah.
But I just can't think of anything that I would want permanently.
Permanent. That is a hard thing.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I agree. So, oh my gosh, Gerald, Radio Shack, they don't exist anymore, right? Like that's
They do not.
Okay.
They do not.
Oh man, wow, this is like nostalgic.
Yes, I will bring you there. I will bring you there. That's where I exist. I'm like, it's 1982 in my mind.
Yes. Oh yes. That is, yeah. Oh my goodness. And jelly shoes. Do you remember jelly shoes?
Oh, I do remember them. I never had any though. I was never allowed to have any.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah.
I was jealous.
I went through so many of those jelly shoes. Okay. Good times. All right. Favorites. On to favorites. A favorite hobby outside of tarot.
Oh wow, a favorite hobby outside of tarot. God, there are so many. I love astrology. I'm a huge history buff.
Oh, okay.
I'm a huge documentary person. I watch documentaries nonstop.
Awesome.
Journaling, painting. I paint.
Very nice. Wow.
Yeah. I've got a lot of
time. When do you know all this?
I know. Sometimes the cards are like, yeah, so slow down.
Yeah, right. Slow down. Favorite thing to shop for other than decks or witchy items?
You mean like actually going to the store or online?
It can be online or going to the store, either one. But they just can't be decks.
I know. What do I like to go to the store for? I love going to metaphysical stores and I love buying crystals.
Crystals. Okay.
Yeah. Even though I don't have a million, but I will definitely take an afternoon and wander and I just pick it. Yeah.
Yeah. They're a weakness of mine too. Now, if you go out of the realm of decks or crystals or anything metaphysical, what would you say you like to shop for?
Oh, like
clothes? Or jewelry? Or
Oracle decks.
Okay.
Oracle decks. Yeah, not even tarot, Oracle decks. I love shopping.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Definitely.
Sounds good. Okay, so then how about a favorite book?
Ooh, a favorite book. There's so many of those too. I love Toni Morrison. The Bluest Eye is one of my most favorite books.
That was a hard one for me.
It was very hard.
Most of the books are hard. Let's be honest.
Toni Morrison is intense, but that particular story, The Bluest Eye, was so familiar to me, unfortunately. So when I first read it, I was just like, oh. But I'm also huge into the fantasy genre.
Oh, awesome.
Huge. So like Tad Williams. I can't even think of all the different authors. I've read so many.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
How about a favorite movie or show?
Favorite? Okay, so show-wise, I don't tend to watch anything current. I'm an old school kind of girl. But I am a huge fan and aficionado of The Wire and The Sopranos.
Okay, yeah. Is The Wire the one that took place in Baltimore?
Yes.
Okay. I heard great things about that show, but I never caught wind to it. I don't know if it was on at a time that I just never caught wind of it until way after the fact. But
right. I watched it after the fact as well. But it is so. If you ever get a chance to watch, I've seen the series in its entirety probably about 4 times at this point. Like if you ever get a chance to watch it, I think it's one of the best shows on television of all time. Of all time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's really, really good.
Hi, Lise. She walks in beauty.
Hi,
and Joe says The Wire is amazing.
Phenomenal show. I mean, the way that they broke down by season all of the issues with like basically our lives today.
World events. Yeah.
It's amazing.
Wow.
Okay. Really well done. Really well done.
Put that on my very long to watch list.
Yeah, I know mine is long too.
Okay. How about, so speaking of crystals, favorite crystal? Do you have one?
Favorite crystal? Ooh. I'm looking at my amethyst right now.
That's a good one.
I love
can't go wrong with amethyst.
Yeah. But I also love like my smoky quartzes, the things that really help me with my healing.
Yeah.
My aquamarine.
Oh, that's another great one.
Love them.
So she needs okay. So Joe was
Yes,
saying
Idris Elba was in The Wire.
Oh,
Yes.
was he?
That was the first time I understood the appeal of him because I really didn't get it.
Oh,
But then when I saw that, I was like, oh, I get it. I get it now.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think I want to say the first thing I ever saw him in was like Thor.
That's right. He was in Thor.
Yeah, that's the first time I ever saw him. But I know that he's done British TV and such. So, but I'm not too familiar until then.
Yeah, me neither.
Right.
But he was so good in The Wire. Another reason why you should watch The Wire. He was so good in The Wire.
Yeah. All right. Favorite curse word?
Fuck, for sure.
Yeah, it's classic.
No question. Yeah.
And then, okay, you ready for the bonus question? Surprise
yes,
question.
I'm ready.
Okay. If you had to choose, which one would you choose?
Uh-oh.
To take a bath every day in a New York City apartment for a full year, or give up the Moonology deck forever?
Oh, wow. Oh, my God. Do it. I would have to give up the Moonology.
Really?
I'm so skeeved out. I can't even tell you. I like this house that I'm living in. Like, this is a brand new house that my family built, and I can't get in a tub here.
Really?
I can't. I can't. I've tried, and my skin crawls, and I'm like, get out. Like, I can't.
Wow. Okay. I was thinking you would brave it, but no,
I know. You haven't seen some of these apartments.
That's trauma. I was going to say that really does sound traumatic then if you are willing to give up your Moonology deck. Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. So in case you guys don't know, Jude used to be a real estate agent in New York. And so she's seen a lot of New York City apartments and habitats. And I guess that was enough for her. So wow.
No
Okay.
tubs. I know. It took away I used to enjoy it so much. No tubs now.
No. Oh, that's too bad. Well, thank you, Pamela. Thank you very much. I do try. All right. So let's get on to the interview questions so we can get to know more about you. So your interest in tarot, when did it actually begin for you? You said like not too long ago with the Neo Tarot, was it?
Yeah. So I bought the Neo Tarot, I would say back, I started with the Moonology deck.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got a couple more decks that were all Oracle. I didn't know the difference, but then I started seeing tarot, and I was like, oh, okay, let me get a couple of tarot decks. And that was probably back in like 2017, I want to say.
Okay.
And then, as I said, I had a bad experience with tarot, just a bad reading, and I put it all down for years. And then this year or the end of last year, I picked it up again because my friend sent me this deluxe deck, and I was like, okay, I got to get myself together. And I did the formal student thing and sat down and
actually learned it. And so what is it that initially appealed to you? Like, how did you become exposed to, say, the Moonology deck, or that the fact that these like Oracle decks existed, or that
these are really great questions. I have no idea. I think I was just in a general kind of spiritual space on Instagram.
And then it'll pop up
cards. And so I was just like, let me buy up a card, and then I just went with the Moonology. The price was right, and I just went with it.
And you happen to love it.
Yes.
Love it so much, but not so much that you're going to get into a bathtub.
Right. Not so much that I can get it. I'll give it away. I've got other Oracle decks. That's
true. That is true. Okay. So we know where that stands. Oh, that's hilarious. And then, so what is the deck then? The tarot deck you said it was like the Neo Tarot that really made it kind of click for you, that really
made it click for me. And I'm so like, I cannot believe, give me 1 second. I can't believe I didn't pull the cards, but I've got the book. So you can see some of the cards. Like, you can kind of just take a look. It's kind of like I don't know how to describe this deck. It's like a very, abstract, very inclusive, really, really lovely deck.
Bright colors.
And the guidebook is written like an oracle. That's why I really love it.
Okay.
So there's like a whole self-care section for each card, and it goes into like really extensive stuff that you can do for each card. So this really got me hooked. But I didn't know it was tarot.
Yeah. Yeah. And then so your friend got you an actual tarot, like an RWS deck, was it? Or
yes, it was I can't believe I'm like, why didn't I bring all this stuff in? It's like right next to me, thank goodness. Hold on one sec.
All good.
Here we go. The Tanzania African Tarot.
Oh, I know that one.
This one is like deluxe supreme deck. Yeah, this is like, I mean, the gilding.
I might have seen this one. Yeah.
This one is, it's a super, I don't know if you guys can actually.
Yes, I've seen this one. I have seen this one.
Yeah, when I got this, and it comes like in a hardcover box with a hardcover book, and it's like super fancy.
Yeah.
I was like, yes. So I still haven't used it. It's still.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm super intimidated by this deck. It's so like fancy.
It is fancy. I know.
And I'm a riffle shuffler, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to ruin this deck. You know, like, oh
exactly. Hi, Donna. Nice to see you. And hello to anybody else coming in. Couple of says New York apartments are slightly above a cardboard box.
Yes.
Okay.
So right. So true.
Noted. Okay. And then so you've been kind of learning the tarot now. What are the resources that you've been using to get to become more comfortable and familiar with tarot?
It's
like
funny.
YouTube,
I started like Sylvain, because I watched your talk with Sylvain. So he talked about Mystic Rain. I actually started out looking at her. She does a whole series going through all of the cards, and then I went back again. And I made my own flashcards. So this is my study deck, my RWS deck, and I put like masking tape on the back with like all of the
keywords. Awesome.
And then I also used, I was heavy using the Holistic Tarot.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
That was a huge resource for me. And the other one, the book by Melissa Sanova.
Kitchen Table Tarot.
That was a really big one.
So good. Yeah. I just love her writing style, and like her sense of humor really comes through in that deck.
It was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good. I still have the Rachel Pollack. I still can't get through all of that. Like I'm still like midway through that.
I've never read Rachel Pollack. I know that's supposed to be one of the ones to read. Rachel Pollack and Mary Kate Greer, I guess, are the two that you're. And I haven't.
I can't finish it. I have it on audiobook. I have the hard copy, and it's just sitting there. So I'm like, okay.
I mean, you gotta do what works for you. So, would you say that RWS so far would be like the system that you're most focusing on? Because I know that you started dabbling a little bit in Thoth as well. So
I have. I'm taking the Thoth really, really slow.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, because I have so much going on with decks, so many decks to look at. So yeah, I would say the RWS is my focus, and it's the one that I know the best.
Okay. Yeah. And so of the two, do you think that you find that RWS resonates, or like you connect with it more than say the Thoth in terms of like imagery or just system wise? Or would you say you're just kind of learning them both? And
no, I would say that the decks that I really like are all RWS.
Okay.
So it's forcing me to the RWS side.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think that's pretty common,
Yeah.
It is. So, and then now that you have started with the tarot, but you're still using Oracle a lot, I'm assuming?
Oh, a ton. Yeah.
And then are you finding that you're kind of blending the two together in your practice, or do you keep them separate, or how do you work with those two?
I keep them separate.
Okay.
And I tend to run from tarot sometimes. So like I just cut off like a 1 week mini hiatus, self-imposed, because the tarot can be super intense for me.
Yeah.
So I'll be like, it's almost, I feel almost like it's chasing me, like, come on, draw a card. And I'm like, no, I don't want to.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's no hesitation with Oracle decks. I draw Oracle decks all the time, all day. It doesn't bother me.
Okay. Yeah. So do you feel like that's maybe one of the reasons you're taking it slower with tarot, because it does feel like it's chasing you, and So it's almost like, well, let me just ease into it, or
yeah, like tarot is just super intense.
it is. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even when Oracle gets intense, it doesn't get intense in the same way.
That's true.
You know?
Yeah.
Like I find Oracle to be a lot more open-ended, especially the decks that I possess.
Okay.
And so like tarot was like, no,
Right.
no. This is what you need to look at right now. And you're like
kick you in the teeth, kind of. Yeah. And sometimes we're just not in the mood for that. That is so true.
And I'm good at running. But
Hi, Clementia. How are you? Good to see you. Oh, hello, Meg from Rose.
I don't see you, Julie. Where are you?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I keep forgetting to do that whenever I put you on solo. I apologize. You're gonna have to keep reminding me. And then, yes, Lisa. Yep, I'm clicking on everything here. Okay, I'm glad you made it too, Meg. Okay, so, and then you said that you are interested in astrology and you've been studying that. Would you say that that kind of has been blending into your Oracle practice and tarot, or just, again, these are all kind of separate things that you do?
Yeah, these are all kind of separate things. I've been studying astrology for way longer than tarot.
Yeah.
I've been studying astrology probably about 9 years now.
Yeah.
So that is something that I'm always, that just informs my daily all the time. I work with a sidereal astrology teacher, so more.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah, so I'm more on the kind of American side of what Jyotish or Indian astrology is.
Oh, wow, okay.
And like she literally, like at the beginning of the year, we sat down with our calendar, so I know exactly where everything is going. Like if I look at my calendar on any given day, I track the moon in my journal, so I know exactly where the moon is every day. Like, yeah, I'm heavy astrology.
Wow.
Heavy. Yeah.
I envy that because it's hard for me. So what is like what first attracted you to that? Getting into astrology and wanting to go deeper with that.
Well, there was like a thread of truth to it to me, but I didn't I didn't vibe with Western astrology. So it was like, okay, because in Western astrology, I'm considered a Capricorn. And I'm like, does that fit? I'm not really sure. When I got deeper and realized there were different types of astrology, I was like, oh, and then I was hooked. It was a wrap.
Okay. Gotcha.
And to me, I guess to me, I love the cards, but I feel like the cards are an energy reader. So they read your current energy. Where you are. So if I read the cards right now and I go out and I have a life-altering experience, I could come back and get a totally different reading. Astrology is astrology.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is what your chart says this, and
that is what it is.
And these are the potential variations on it, but it's solid. So
yeah,
my mind works a little bit better around astrology than it does with tarot. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. We have a question from Meg at Rose Honey Ritual. What are your favorite everyday use oracles? Sorry if this was asked. I was late. Well, she does like the moonology.
I do love the moonology.
But not enough to take baths. But she does. So moonology is one.
I actually have props for this one. I pull from these every single week.
Wow.
The Power of Surrender cards and the Soul Truth. Like, I live by these cards.
Awesome.
I think everybody's seen the Power of Surrender cards. I think they're pretty.
I don't know. Is that the one that April? I feel like I've seen.
Yes. April talked about this.
Yeah.
I actually bought it on the power of her recommendation.
Oh, okay.
I did.
I know I've seen that. Yeah.
I actually bought on the power of April from.
I think that deck is an April made me do it deck because I think
both of these are.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, they are. But I mean, the surrender cards are amazing, but these Soul Truth cards, like for anybody who's a journaler, these cards, I mean, they're just so, each card asks you a question.
Okay.
And then in the back, it kind of expands on that.
Like a message.
You don't need a guidebook or anything like that. And I can journal a week off of these.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So I love these. I pull from these at least twice a week every week.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. And then we have a question from Gerald at Tarot Stash. Judes, exactly what are the decks saying to you? Have you tried to talk back? That's what I do.
Oh my gosh, that's such a okay. Yeah. I'm an overthinker. I'm also somebody who puts super amounts of pressure on myself. I'm a very like driven, goal driven, like technically I'm an attorney. I don't practice, but technically I went to law school. So I have that kind of mind.
That's how you're good at astrology too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Specificity lights my fire. Like that is my, So with the cards, I just kind of like I know what they're saying to me and I don't want to, and then part of me is pessimistic. So I'm always going to go with like the worst thing that they're saying, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to hear this today. But you're right. I should try and talk back. I should.
It's conversation. Absolutely. Absolutely. And yeah, Gerald's saying, I own Moonology, but haven't used it yet. I've only had it for 18 months or so. I don't know how I can do that, Gerald. Seriously. Like, you've done that with so many decks where it's like, yeah, I've had it. Haven't even opened it.
Don't feel bad, Gerald. One of the decks I brought out to show, I have not opened yet. Now, I haven't had it for 18 months. I've only had this one for a month. But this is my Terra Volatile.
Oh, okay.
And the expansion pack.
Oh, wow. And
still opened.
All right. I don't know that I can do that. I mean, I feel like there's maybe been one or two that I've been intentionally saving, but for a certain time, as in like a month, but not like a year or anything like.
I don't know. I envision like, first of all, if a deck has a new system, I'm going to be addicted to it. Like I'm praying Benabel comes out again with the Spirit Keepers Tarot. I really want the Revelation edition. I am so like anything like that. I have like the I have what else do I have? I have the Dreams of Gaia. Like anything that's like new or a variation on the tarot system, I love.
How are you liking Dreams of Gaia?
It's okay.
Okay.
I think the problem that I'm having with the Dreams of Gaia, honestly, is the inclusivity part.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm scared to open the Terra Volatile, because I don't think it's as inclusive as I would like it to be. But I'm fascinated by the fact that it has a whole nother suit. And I'm like, I want to like get in it, but I'm like, can I connect to it? I don't know, which is what keeps it.
It does have, for me, it has that I don't have it. I've been tempted, certainly. Attempted very recently as well for the pocket edition. I mean, it has that old school fantasy vibe, speaking of like fantasy novels and stuff. That's so that is the appeal, but I do know that it's people say you really have to study it and take the time. So I totally get that. So Gerald is saying you could journal back to the cards.
That is interesting. I should try that because I never have. I always just kind of like write down what the cards are telling me. And then I'm like, okay, that's what the cards told me. And if it's a good message, then I'm happy. And if it's a bad message, I'm like, oh crap. Yeah. I should try to journal. I've never considered that before. Thank you.
Awesome, Gerald. Awesome. We're so glad you made it, Ivy's Grove. Thank you so much for coming by. Oh yes, Meg and I. We were talking about that in a recent conversation. The Dreams of Gaia. That's what I think that's what she's referring to.
I've done a few readings with it, and I have the pocket edition.
Okay.
And it's been spot on.
Yeah.
But is it the kind of deck that I could just pull out and read?
I don't. So and Pamela's saying, Julie, since you're on a purchase now, can't open until next year, but you have tested that and had to wait. Yeah, so I think she's referring to my I have this kind of reset rule of this year where I'm allowed to purchase decks, but I cannot use them for the year of 2022. Oh, wow. So instead of it being a no buy, I am doing what is just more of like I can use the decks that I have currently as of like the end of last year, and I can certainly buy any of the decks that I want, but I wouldn't be able to use them until the next year, which Pamela has definitely curved me a lot. Now, I will say I've gotten around it because I've used, like, if somebody gifts me a deck or like it's a trade or something like that, I find that to be an exception.
Right.
Or say, if I have birthday money because I just had a birthday and I buy myself a gift of a deck. Yeah, that's just my way.
That's different.
So, Yeah. So Spirit Keepers is one that I've been sitting on. And, she says that she is going to, from what I know, come out with future editions of that Revelation. But that is
Okay.
her kind of
I
final.
want that so bad. Oh my God. I mean, I sweat. To me, she's a superstar. I
Yeah,
sweat
yeah,
the
yeah.
crap out of her. I'm just,
Mm-hmm.
but I
Yep.
could see myself having that one on the side too, because I'd want to be ready to like really get into it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It is one to
Yeah.
definitely get into. And I did a kind of first round study of it. And I'm just trying to ease into it because I know this one's going to be kind of a long-term study. There's so much packed in there,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to be able to learn it all right away. But there are so many great resources that she has to help you go deeper. And I know that people are doing their own deep dives on YouTube. Jonathan Daly, he's doing his own deep dive with it. So it's great. So
Wow.
hopefully there'll
Yeah.
be a lot of resource. Yeah, I know. Hi,
It is
Bonnie.
cruel.
Wholesome.
It is
I
cruel.
know. But I mean, but I can buy it. Well, is it crueler? I guess it is. But I've just been coming up with so many loopholes. I don't even know if it's like worth.
Really in place. Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't even know. But anyway.
I get it.
Okay, so next question would be, on the topic of astrology, what is one misconception that you feel that people have when it comes to astrology?
That horoscopes have any value.
Okay. All right.
They have, to me,
None.
horoscopes have zero value.
Okay.
I think for me, the best way to use astrology is to use it as a self-discovery tool, just like you use tarot.
Okay.
So it's about getting to know yourself, the different parts of yourself, how they work together, your strengths, your weaknesses. It's not about, what's going to happen this week and, blah, blah, blah. Like, I just think that that's a waste of time.
I see. Okay. So then when it comes to astrology and tarot, you're more about the kind of self-exploration, self-development, and not so much the future casting.
Exactly.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. Especially since future casting gives me a lot of anxiety.
Yeah. I can understand that. Okay. So then since you're kind of, you're still getting into tarot but you've been doing Oracle, would you say that your card reading style has changed? Since what was it, 2017, you said, maybe 2000, like, have you seen it kind of evolved where you're using your oracles differently maybe than you used to, or?
I don't use my oracles any differently. They're still solely a self-exploration tool, but because I do use tarot to do readings for friends, I do find that my voice in tarot is changing.
Okay.
Because I'm much more, I feel like every time I do a reading now, it's becoming much more of a story.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking about how would I interpret this to somebody else?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, this means this. Okay, here's the overarching story of the cards.
Awesome. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, Benabelle.
Hi, Benabelle.
Oh my gosh. Thank you.
Oh my gosh.
She totally agrees regarding horoscopes. All right. Okay. And then in terms of, the decks that you work with, are there any, like, is there a kind of a system that you have in terms of how you choose them? Is it like a mood thing? Do you kind of set more of an intentional schedule? Like, okay, these are the ones I'm going to work with and get to know this week, or a combination?
I have tried to set intentional schedules. I'm trying right now and it's not working out very well. I have certain decks that I just gravitate towards. Right now, I am heavy in the Superlunaris space, which I seem to always be in. And then I just got this deck, like maybe 4 weeks ago. And it came from the Ukraine. The Sea Witch Tarot. I don't know if you've ever seen this.
I don't know. There's so many decks, and I'm sure I've never seen. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the story of the sea witch from The Little Mermaid. Like I guess Ursula, or what Ursula is supposed to be.
Wow.
And they've done a whole. So I'm really into sea life and sea animals, but I never see anybody do octopus. And she's an octopus. I love her.
Great. I don't think I've ever seen that one.
I love this. I had to order it from the Ukraine. So I was, I ordered it probably 3 months ago, and it just came in like a month ago or so.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been nonstop into this deck.
It looks
Um,
great.
yeah, so that's just kind of like how it's been. I've just been picking up what I gravitate towards.
Yeah, makes sense. If it works, it works.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And so since you're using Oracle separately to tarot, it's not like aesthetically they have to match, right? Because
Oh,
I know
no,
with
no, no.
me, I am kind of that way. It's like
And
if
I
I'm
love that. I watch so many videos where people do that, and I'm like, that's fascinating.
yeah.
I'm either pulling tarot or I'm pulling Oracle.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right.
Because for me, like a poll is it's an event. Like I'm sitting down and journaling my polls and getting really deep.
Uh-huh.
So yeah.
Okay.
I do them separate.
Lisa saying synchronicities. Benabel pops in my chat and my echo wants to show me my horoscope. Yep.
Your echo doesn't like what I said.
That's hilarious. So around how many decks would you say you have, Judes? Do you keep count?
God. I do. I have an index. I keep an index.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say at this point, I'm ballpark probably in the 52 range. I probably have 52 decks total. Yeah.
Pretty conservative.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah. And so do you feel like in terms of collecting, you feel like you're going to acquire more decks to get a taste of what it is you like, or do you feel like you've already kind of found the decks that you go for and you're being more selective? Because I know that when
I'm at satiation point right now.
Okay, you are because I've done the whole let's buy everything.
Yeah. I have a couple of decks still that are unopened. Like I showed you the Terra Volatile.
Yeah.
I have one more deck that's unopened. So until I get to opening those decks, I don't think I will be doing anything else. But I have allowed myself, as soon as that Spirit Keepers drops, I mean, there's no question.
All right,
I'm going for it.
You heard that, Annabelle. Just saying.
I'm going for it.
Okay, question from Pamela. Judes, you said you were Capricorn in Western astrology and it doesn't fit you. What is your sign in your preferred astrology system?
Good question.
That's a great question.
Good question. So there's a couple things about this question. I have an issue with the way that Western astrology assigns you to be your sun sign. I don't believe personally that I'm just my sun sign, because I know that my sun sign is it's not just, who I am, but it's also my father, and your moon sign is also your mother. So I don't look at either of those signs to be me. Just FYI though, let me think about this. So I look at my rising sign, my ascendant, and in my preferred mode of astrology, I'm a Virgo rising. Which makes so much sense for me. When I found that Virgo thing, I was like, oh yeah, okay. So like I'm hyper analytical and like, you know what I mean? Want to have everything organized into boxes and, connection to the earth and material realm. Like it all fits in so well for me. So
gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Great.
Definitely earth, but just not Capricorn.
Great question. Great question. All right. So do you have a soul deck? And if so, what is it?
What an excellent question. Do I have a soul deck?
Do you prescribe to that term?
Yes.
Okay.
But I don't believe that we have just one soul deck.
Yeah.
Because I don't think we have just one facet of personality. But if you ask me to one soul deck, African Goddess Rising. I love this deck. Like when this deck came out, I was like, I didn't even know this could exist. Like this deck.
Amazing. Awesome.
Every time I draw from it, I learn something, even if it's a deity that I've seen before or worked with before. This is an amazing deck.
I have been tempted on that one. I have been tempted.
Phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I encourage it, but I'm biased. So
yeah. I will. Okay, I'll put that on the wish list. I will put that on the wish list. Okay.
I'm very biased.
And so, all right, let's get into some of the current decks that you've been recently using that you're currently in love with. Do you want to show us one or two of those?
Decks that I'm currently using that I'm in love with. Okay, so not using, but in love with.
In love with, absolutely.
This Night Sun Tarot by Fabio Lustrani. lights my fire. The way these images are, I have the mini, and I regret buying the mini.
Okay.
I might have to go and get the Big Mama on this one.
Oh, okay.
Because it's so like, I don't even know if you can see it because the glare, but like, it's so like, I hope I'm not using like un-PC language, but it's so weird.
Yeah.
And just so unusual and
It's
just
got,
kind of like
its own flavor, you know?
And like, I feel this energy just, I don't know, the energy of this deck kind of just.
Awesome. So that looks like it's kind of a Pippish deck.
Yep.
And you like Pip decks?
Say that again?
Do you like Pip decks? Because I know some people don't.
I don't love them.
Okay. But you like that one.
This? Yeah. I'm, I'll work through it. And I don't think it's solely Pippish. Because like, for instance, this is one of the, so it's kind of like Pippish, but kind of not. It's Pip light, I guess.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's kind of a hybrid.
Like there are figures there.
Yeah. Pips with feeling, as Sylvan would
yes,
say.
That's the term, pips with feeling. I just love these images. I'm like, what is this? Who are these people? I'm fascinated by this world. I want to step into it with protection, though. I would want to have like a machete or something, because they look like they could,
Yeah, they do, for sure. For sure. Yeah, absolutely. And Kapati Tarot is saying that she loves the Oracle deck you're talking about. Kapati Tarot loves that deck. Judes,
you mean Abiola? Oh my God, that would be amazing. This would be amazing if she made this Oracle deck. That would be amazing if she made a tarot. Right. I'd be so happy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. And then Bonnie from Old Soul Mermaid asks, Judes, how long do you work with the deck before moving on to something else? Great question, Bonnie.
Good question. I don't think I have a particular amount of time. The Super Lunaris, I've been working with the Super Lunaris now for 3 months.
Wow.
So I'm
not sick of it yet. So
I'm not sick of it at all. I'm not sick of it at all. And I kind of like getting deeper into the deck like that. Like now when I pull it, I'm like, oh, I know exactly what this is. Yes. Boom, boom, boom. So I do like getting deep with my decks.
Yeah. Getting to know them.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
For sure.
Great question. And then Gerald says, Judes, I have that deck as a mini too. Isn't there a great butt in the lover card?
There is.
Gerald. Naughty.
I love this deck.
Now I'm gonna have to go looking. Of course I'm gonna have to go looking.
I don't even know if I can find it. I'll try.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
You can ask me another question. I'll try to find it.
That's hilarious.
I got it all mixed up now.
So do you have any decks on your wish list? Do you have a wish list, Juice? Or
I do have a wish list. But like I said, I reached the point of satiation. So I'm kind of like, I look at them now and I'm like, oh yeah, that's a nice deck. But there are people like that, if they dropped a deck, like I've got my eye on people. Like for instance, the guy who did the Angelarium, the Oracle deck Angelarium.
I do know the Oracle deck, but I'm blanking on the guy's name.
I'm blanking on his name too, which is so shameful because I literally just looked at his Instagram page today. But he is working on a tarot deck, and I have my eagle eye on it. Like I want that deck so bad. Okay. I can't wait. I'll buy it immediately.
Awesome. Very cool. So Lisa's saying must be that butt. Well, yeah, you're not wrong. I'm very
everything's all over the place.
Curious about what that is.
See, I got the hierophant. Okay. Wait, I don't see a butt on mine. Did I not get the good copy?
Oh, or maybe it's a different card. Maybe it's not the lovers. Maybe it's a different.
Yeah, it might be a different card because I don't see a butt on mine.
Let me see. Let me put you on solo. So, no butts.
Yeah, no butts. Maybe he got a better version of the cards than I did. I want a butt.
You're just toying with us now.
Oh, I want a butt.
Joe is asking, have you read with the Aliman Tarot?
I haven't.
I haven't either.
I
I
haven't.
know that people are just getting their copies. And I don't know how I feel about that with all the, I mean, Martin from Terror in the City was saying that he actually ended up really liking it, but I don't
Yes, I
know.
watched that with all the different. It's the one that has the different art styles, right?
Yes. Yeah. A
Yeah,
different art style
I
from
don't
all
know
the
how I
different
feel about
creators.
that.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't either.
and the different backs. It had different backs.
Different backs.
That
Yeah.
was jarring. I was like,
Yeah.
oh, why are there different backs on that deck?
Yeah. And he was saying how it now is fine. Like he doesn't mind it. So
Yeah,
he loves
it's
it. So I'm
interesting.
just like, okay.
Yeah, I've got to look at that deeper. Like okay, so for instance, like a deck that I really, really wanted, actually off of watching one of your, I think you were doing your podcast with the
Oh,
girls,
uh-huh. Oh,
and you guys
yeah,
were talking about desert illuminations.
yes.
And then when I had the chance to buy it, I was like, meh. Like,
Yeah.
I really love this deck, but I don't feel pressed to get it.
Yeah, absolutely. And
So
sometimes it's better to, at least I've learned over the years, better to kind of cool down. There's always that initial excitement of, the new deck, but then, I give it a few days and I'm like, nah, I'm over it.
yeah,
I can wait. I can wait.
exactly.
So anyway, all right. And then, are there any decks that that you currently have that you're maybe trying to connect with, but you can't really seem to
Yeah, I've got a
connect?
couple.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a couple. So the Sybil's oral, I can never say this word, oraculum. This is
Oraculum?
oraculum.
Is that what?
Oraculum, yes. This is
Oraculum.
the same woman who created the Hoodoo Tarot.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I've had this deck for 4 years now,
Okay.
and I still can't. I
4
can't.
years,
You
yeah.
know, it's a whole different system.
Okay.
And so yeah, it's one of those, but I'm refusing to give up on it. Like I've
Uh-huh.
done a couple of readings and the readings have been really good.
Okay.
But as far as like deep diving in this deck, I haven't
Mhm.
done that.
Gotcha.
And I've got another one that is sitting here
Uh-huh.
that I really, and this is an embarrassing one because it has to do with the subject. It's not the deck, it's the subject matter that has me
Okay.
blocked. And it's my
Yeah.
modern love tarot.
Yeah, okay. I can understand that. I can understand
It's
that.
sitting on my desk. It sits on my desk with
Yeah.
the Super Lunaris so that I can use it. I never ever use it.
Oh,
And I
really?
love the deck.
Yeah.
It's a gorgeous deck.
Yeah, it is a gorgeous deck. Yeah, absolutely. Oh, maybe it's just not the time yet,
Yeah.
maybe it just is not the time. So
I'm trying. I'm putting it out there. I'm like,
yeah,
okay,
in
romance
view.
love, like put it
Yep.
right here. And then I reach around it every time and get the Super Lunaris.
Oh my goodness. So Meg is saying Ellie Minyaya and
Peter
Peter.
Morbacker.
Okay.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. I
not
follow him
familiar.
so close. Every time he comes out with a new illustration, I'm like,
Where's
where's the deck? Where's the deck?
That's fantastic. Hello, Scott. Nice to see you.
Hello.
Let me see here. What else am I missing? Let's see. The alley was a FOMO for me. Yeah, yep. Gotta love the FOMO. And Star is she loves the Hoodoo Tarot.
Yeah. Yep. I haven't started reading with that as extensively as I would like, but I love the Hoodoo Tarot.
Yeah.
I think it's gorgeous.
It is. And Tarot Stash, Gerald, I was wrong. No but. Yes. Tease. You're such a tease, Gerald. All right.
I just love that deck. I love the people in the deck.
That's awesome.
I'm like, if I was brave enough, I would have like, 10 piercings and like,
yeah,
shave off one side. Like oh my God, if I was brave enough to like shave off the back of my hair and like just have the locks out.
Yeah,
oh my God, I would step right into the deck.
You could do
right
it.
into the deck. Right in.
Okay, so what do you have a deck that maybe you thought you'd hate or maybe you wanted to hate but you ended up actually enjoying?
A deck that I wanted to hate that I actually ended up loving. The Miss Cleo's deck.
Honestly, that deck gets shat on a lot, but it actually reads really well.
Nice
I had it for a time, and I was
really great reader. Oh my gosh. And it's like an RWS clone. You don't
Yeah.
need to know anything for it.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
pull it out and
Exactly.
start. It's a
So yeah,
great
no, I agree. I totally agree.
It's a great deck.
Yeah, absolutely. And so okay, so we're gonna wrap up. I'm just gonna be, I want to be mindful of your time,
Yes, of
but
course.
you have a podcast.
I do.
And you've had that since like what, 2021 was it, or 2020?
2020.
2020. And so what prompted you to do that? Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about that for those who aren't familiar?
Yes. I love my podcast. It's my favorite thing that I do.
Awesome.
I've always wanted to have a podcast. I've
Uh-huh.
always since like 2016, 2015.
Awesome.
And it just seemed really complicated.
Mhm.
And then, it wasn't complicated. So I just went with it.
Yeah.
Just went into it. The first season was like, really, it was during the pandemic. So like, especially those first episodes were heavily researched, and I was doing one episode a week, and it was a lot of pressure I was putting on myself.
Mm-hmm.
And then my second season, I was actually unable to continue. I only got to episode 3, and I had to stop. I put it down.
Okay.
So now I do it once every 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
I've started to upload it to YouTube as well.
Yeah.
And I love it. It's really just me talking.
Yeah.
And,
about whatever.
About whatever. Usually about spiritual topics.
Mm-hmm.
But all the things that I want to say when I'm on Instagram every day and I don't, I put it on the podcast.
That makes sense. There's only so much room on Instagram, right? Faster to do it.
I'm thinking when I see something shady happen, I'm like, that's going to be a podcast episode.
Yeah. Let me put that on my list. Well, that's great, because we need more voices out there. And I feel like people are, everything, I don't know, there's a lot of contention about having to say the right thing. People are becoming, I think, more afraid to maybe say what they're really thinking, for fear that cancel culture is going to come, grab them. So,
and it's a real concern.
It is.
It's a real concern. But I find that with the podcast, I have less of that. And I think, I love YouTube. I really, really love YouTube. I love being on TarotTube. I love everybody that I've met, everyone I've spoken to. It's been amazing. The reception has been phenomenal here.
Awesome.
But the thing that the podcast gives me that YouTube doesn't is that I can completely hide my face. Like, I'm just talking. Literally, sometimes 4:00 in the morning, I'll get up and I'll be like, I want to record an episode, and just record it. So it's a lot less pressure when it comes.
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of freedom, definitely. Yeah. So Bonnie has another question. Do you have any cute tarot decks? That's a great question.
That is a good question. I feel like the Sea Witch Tarot is a cute deck.
Is it? Okay.
Do I have any cute tarot decks? Oh my God, yeah, of course.
Okay.
How could I? Yoshitani.
Oh, is that the Tarot of the Divine?
Yes, I love this deck. I love this deck.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, first of all, it's linen.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Mass market linen edition deck.
I love linen, yes.
And just, I've been reading the actual, I have the storybooks on the electronic copy.
Mm-hmm.
Phenomenal. I mean, what she did here is just, and I think because she, did illustrations for Disney, this, art style is so familiar. Yeah. So, I mean, look at that. Oh my gosh.
It is a beautiful deck. It is so
an amazing deck. It really is. I don't read with it as much as I would like, but I'm really happy to have it.
Awesome. Very cool.
Yeah.
Mavi's saying, I love your personality, Reveye.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Okay. So then it sounds like you've been enjoying TarotTube. What made you decide to do TarotTube?
I've been on here for months, lurking. Yeah. Just lurking.
Okay.
Like I've been watching your podcast with the girls.
Oh, thank you.
Since like December. And I just never say anything. I'm just like in the background, like, okay, cool. And then finally it was like, okay, now I want to speak. Okay. And then I started to speak here and there. And then I was like, you know what? I have things to say.
Yeah.
And I think that I think representation is important too.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I can offer something different. So
awesome.
Here I am.
We are glad. We're so happy.
Thank you.
All right. So to kind of, this will be kind of like a wrap up question. What advice do you have to anyone who's just started learning the tarot? or how to read, tarot oracle?
Yeah. I would say take your time. Take your time. And also, the one thing that I'm not really good at is don't be afraid of your own interpretation of the card.
That's a great piece of advice. Yeah.
What you see, I think it was an old Katie Flowers video that I watched once where she was talking about how, like tarot is not this mystical secret language that's hidden from you. The cards want you to understand them. And that opened up so much for me, because then it was like, I'm not looking like under the pillows for something secret. It's like, you know what I mean? Like these cards actually want to speak to me. So what I see that speaks to me in the card is what's meant for me. So
great advice. And then anything for someone wanting to start a podcast or their own YouTube channel?
Yeah, I would say don't be afraid. Just go for it. And editing takes time. You'll learn it and it'll become fun if you want to edit at all, because a lot of the YouTubers that I watch don't even edit, and I love that. I love that I can see an uninterrupted stream.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you for the reminder. I missed Pamela's question. Judes, what's one piece of advice you would give to someone who puts a lot of pressure on themselves? That's a great one. That is
that is advice that I need to follow. Gosh, advice for people who put pressure on themselves. I mean, stop, of course, is the advice that I want to give, but I know how hard it is. It is really, really hard. I'm in the self-flagellation game like no other, and I can really put a number on myself. And the things that I do to really loosen up, the biggest thing that I do is get outside for a walk. Get away from it. Get away from all the stuff that's on your mind, and just and as much in nature as you can get, the better. And literally just, I mean, if you want to listen to music, it's great, but literally listening to like the chirping of the birds and the leaves rustling can change your entire perspective.
That's great. Nature. The best medicine. Yeah. And it's free.
Yeah, it is free. It is free. Not much is today. So
let's see. Okay, about to go. Yes, anybody who has not subscribed yet, hello. All of our information down in the description box below. So definitely hit the like and subscribe. And I think I've hit all of the questions here. So anything, yes, we do love Judes.
Oh, hi
Meg. So anything that you want to let us know of that's coming up for you on the podcast or channel, or?
Right now I'm actually, I've upgraded my tarot bookcase.
Oh.
So I'm almost done recording all of that. So kind of like veering almost into like what do you call that? Like a makeover space.
Awesome.
Which I'm really I'm excited about that video. So
I'm excited too. I love those kinds of videos.
The editing has been something else because it's new. I'm like, oh, this is a new way to edit. How am I going to edit this video? But,
yeah.
I'm excited about that.
I'm going to watch your deck FOMO video next. Yeah, it's a good one. That's a great tag. It's a great tag.
It is a great tag.
Absolutely. All right. So thank you so much to everyone who has participated in the live chat. Thank you to those who are going to be watching the playback. And thank you, Judes. It's been so awesome talking to you and getting to know you better.
Thank you for asking me, Julie. I so enjoyed spending time with everybody. Thank you for coming.
Yes. So until the next time, much love to everyone. Take care. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.